What would the US look like if it was a monarchy with a European parliamentary system? A lot of things would be similar. There would still be three branches of government: judiciary, executive, and legislative. However, a lot of things would be changed. For the first, it would be a king. In this alternate history prediction about the US, we put them into a regular European system. Many European countries have reigning monarchs. For example, England, Holland, or Denmark. Now, England is a country that has a two-party system like the US, but they have a king. Italy, on the other hand, is a republic, but they do also have a proportional representation system, unlike the US and Britain. Now, Norway, Denmark, and Sweden are countries that have both a monarch and a system of proportional representation. And that is exactly what we're going to try on the US today. If the US was a monarchy, the king, the first king at least, would be George Washington, who decided to crown himself king and create a monarchy instead of a republic after kicking out the British in the 18th century. Now, after that, America has had a number of kings, and the current one, naturally, is Denzel Washington. Now, the United States of America as a kingdom has a proportional representation system and not a two-party system, meaning, for example, that from the state of Texas, a number of parties show up, and if a party gets 40% of the vote in the entire state, they get 40% of the representatives from that state, meaning that district drawing and gerrymandering does not exist, and there is no reason to stick with two parties anymore. So let's get through these parties, shall we? The first party is the US Communist Party, led by Bernie Sanders. They are on the far left, but still have seats in the government. Their ideology is Marxism, Leninism, and Communism, and they have their strength in the big college cities. Secondly, we have the Democratic Socialists of America, or the DSA. The leader is Ed Markey. Their ideology is socialism, progressivism, and feminism. They also have their strength in the big college cities. Third, we have the more mainstream Liberal Party, led by Leo Lancaster. Their ideology is social liberalism, economic centrism, and they are called the Liberal Democrats. They have their strength in the suburbs and the big cities. Fourth, we go to the middle of the political aisle, where we have the 50-star movement, which is a bad parody of the Italian 5-star movement. Anyway, they are led by Cory Gardner, and their ideology is big tent populism, meaning that they are flexible and can work with most other parties. They are anti-establishment and anti-corruption, paleo-libertarian, and they are for the environment, for clean water, pro-infrastructure, and anti-immigration. Their strength lies among workers in the Midwest and among young voters. Fifth, we have the Libertarian Party, led by none other than Rand Paul. Their ideology, of course, is libertarianism and social conservatism, and they have their strength mostly in the Mountain West and in New England. Sixth, we have the Western Conservatives of America. Their leader is Ed Royce from California. Their ideology is Christian conservatism, social conservatism, and market liberalism. As you might understand, this is somewhat a continuation of what you might know as the regular Republican Party. And of course they have their strength in the western US as well as the suburbs. Seventh, we have the America First Party, or the AFP, led by Donald Trump Jr. Their ideology is American populism, trade isolationism, and national conservatism. Their strengths are in rural areas and mostly in the Rust Belt. Eighth and last, we have the right-wing party of the parliament, the Imperial Party, led by Doug Mastriano. Their ideology is national populism, imperialism, militarism, and their strength is in the mid-Atlantic regions in states like Pennsylvania and Ohio, as well as in the Appalachia and the Deep South. Now let's get to the government. The current Prime Minister is Ed Royce of California. He, of course, is the leader of the Western Conservatives of America. His coalition includes the Western Conservatives, the AFP, the Libertarian Party, and the 50-Star Movement. The most important ministers in his government, of course, is the Prime Minister, Ed Royce of the VCA, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Cory Gardner, the leader of the 50-Star Movement, Attorney General Rand Paul of the Libertarians, Minister of Education, John Ensing of the VCA, Minister of Defense, Scott Walker of the AFP, Minister of Science Elon Musk of the 50-Star Movement, Minister of Intelligence Pam Bondi of the AFP, and Minister of Finance Duncan Hunter of the VCA. The current US Parliament gives the ruling coalition a majority. They have 88 seats out of 169 total, meaning that they are able to rule without the support of either the Imperial Party or the Liberal Democrats. The biggest party, of course, is the 50-Star Movement, who has a 1-seat edge over their coalition partner, the VCA. After, you have the biggest party on the left, the Liberal Democrats, followed closely by the Democratic Socialists of America, and then you have the AFP and the EP at a current position of 18. The smallest party is the Libertarians, because they do struggle to get their candidates across the finish line in many states. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting. If you like what I do, please subscribe. Please like this video. Liking does help a lot, and I'll see you next time.